So today we're going to start with Icy Pharah. Hello, Overwatch. There we go. A Pharah player, I believe, who said, I don't know what else I could have done. This was such a frustrating match. So we'll take a look at that. So Icy Pharah, Pharah playing Pharah on Doardo. Doardo is actually a pretty good Pharah map. Until third is not a, of course, that's fine. The sky ceiling is much lower on third, so you don't get um, to play as well. But okay, coming out of main, it's okay. Plays nicely, Pharah. Hello, hello, is it Pharah? Well, okay. So one thing to keep into mind is you don't have basically any healing. I'll be honest. You're gonna have to play Pharah without a pocket, which is a lot more difficult. You're basically playing like a long range spam, don't get shot. They don't have any hits, unfortunately. Maybe Ana could be a big problem. Ana is usually not a big deal, but without a Mercy, Ana can be a big deal because you basically got no healing, right? The benefit of Mercy is that you basically got a bunch of healing, but when you're not playing Mercy, you don't. So this is fine. You basically are playing like a long range spam hero. You don't want to get close. That's a good chasing of the Genji. You probably kill him. Oh, he's one, just missed it. That's fine. This is a really good position, like over here, over the bridge. And one thing I'll say is that it is really difficult to play Pharah without Mercy because you can't rocket jump, right? One of the ways you stay up in the air forever with Pharah is by rocket jumping. You don't need to use your cooldown. You can just rocket jump up, stay in the air, then use your cooldown to get back up, rocket jump over surfaces, and that's not something you can do without a Mercy. Because, well, you take 40 damage every time you hit yourself with Splash Mage, right? So if you rocket jump and you are not gonna be healed on the way up, then you are taking a fight at a disadvantage. So that's definitely a problem. So again, one thing you could be doing is trying to get your concussive blast to book people off and into your team because you got like two very chunky tanks. I don't think I've seen you try to do that yet, and you definitely should. Good position though, and you're definitely doing damage, and the run is dead, so we should be winning this. That's exactly what I want you to do. You are a little too close though. Without a Mercy, remember, it's very difficult to survive when you get close and aggressive. Also, just at this point, just drop, get the Mega and come back out. Good kill, just drop, get the Mega. Get the Mega, you've got 60 HP, just get the Mega. Like, you're getting work done, but yeah, you finally got the Mega. Prioritize your survival because, again, you just have no healing. But that was overall a pretty good fight. You did a lot of damage from long range, forced the Zarya off the high ground, did go a little over aggressive without the Mercy, which is not something I love, but you survived. Now they got a hit scan, 2 hit scan in fact, so you should be a lot more careful. It's gonna be very difficult for you to just go as aggressive into 2 hit scan without a Mercy. Like you see they got Nash, and this is what's gonna happen a lot of the time now that your value is reduced because you can't go aggressive. Never mind, you just delete them. But this is really good. But your value is definitely a lot lower when you cannot go aggressive because, well, you just have no healing. Even an Ana would have been okay. As a Nyada to put an orb on you. But right now you're basically playing with a single Brigitte back per fight. Just not enough for Pharah. You're still getting a lot of value. You can see that we got first point really fast. I think you're waiting for a flank barrage. If you can't reveal yourself, you probably want to go a little earlier. But overall, you're still getting value and you're getting shot. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, the big thing here is definitely you just should have been getting value earlier. If you were going for a flank barrage, I could understand, right? Like, let's see, you're at 5 minutes over here, right? And your team is like, okay, you're pushing the payload. And we are at 5 minutes. We use the pulse bomb, and they're just like only now doing some damage. You shoot 3 rockets, you shoot 4, 5 rockets, 6 rockets, 7, 8. Like, you shoot 8 rockets over the course of 30 seconds. Whereas you could have gotten a lot more value if you were just shooting Again, I would have understood if you were trying to go for a flank barrage, maybe, drop, go this way, go on someone. But if you're not gonna go for a flank barrage, just shoot them. Because Pharah does enough damage, especially splash damage when everyone in the enemy team is playing this close together, that you can get 2 people very easily, and that's a lot of resources for them to burn into your damage. So then we have damage boosted dash, so you should be careful and stop. Yeah, okay, that was throwing. I think you thought they couldn't see you, but they can see you. Like, a little bit. Like, they can see you, like, yeah, you can probably see that they can tap you. That's very unfortunate, but yeah, they can definitely... Yep, Farah's hitbox a little bigger than you thought. And by the time you try to get out, you just died. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's just unfortunate. We reset. Okay, good beat. We should go aggressive with the beat. You got a free barrage. For the next 3 seconds, you got a free barrage. Because you had beat. I'll just use it. Yeah, that's good barrage. I'm okay with that barrage, actually. Unfortunate that your team did not win the fight with it, but I think it is a good barrage. You could have gone more aggressive with it, but I think it's fine. Like, in the end, the idea is you just break the rank shield, maybe we win, but we didn't end up winning. Anywho. You're doing damage again, which is fine, taking careful positions. Remember, now they have 2 hitscan, and you don't have a mercy, so you're playing at a really big disadvantage here. Good kill, though. Like, the only way you could be further in trouble is instead of a mercy, they have a Moira, they have a Baptiste, right? Or a Moira Baptiste for the air healing to keep up with the damage you're putting out. To pressure you with hitscan, maybe a Diva too. But you have a lot of disadvantages on this matchup. You're still getting value though, which is pretty good. Good boop. Try to keep up with the damage, that's okay. Your aim is really good too. Lucky that we couldn't stop the rest. You were reloading though, so not your fault. That's a really good boop. Did she not die? Oh, she did. I think that's worth it. You did die because, again, you're just playing a little in the open. Like, this area has no cover, and you're not really playing at a far enough range that Ashe and McCree can not do damage to you. At this range, they can still do basically full damage to you. And yeah, they just tap you. But I think that trade is worth it. I do think, like, if you're gonna play, you should play like here. If you're gonna play in this area, these and these are your best positions, because these are bigger distances than their hitscan can do. Not Anna. Anna has no drop off. But like McCree and unless they're like standing here and shooting up at you, if the DPS are like here and you're like here playing with cover, here playing with a little cover, maybe from the inside. These ranges are actually a little bit further away that they can shoot, so they don't do full damage. Especially McCree. We should cap this though, right? Yeah. You get back pretty fast. Okay. You get top of Lucio. We beat aggressively. Yep. Okay, with you going aggressive, you got beat for another 2 seconds. 1 second, you get slapped. That's unfortunate. You're probably dead here. But I think the biggest thing as far is that you're basically just playing Pharah like Pharah. Which sounds silly to say, but when you're playing Pharah without any healing into triple hitscan basically, you have to adapt your playstyle, right? Good barrage. I'm not saying you're not getting value, you're clearly getting value. You just need to realize that it's probably better for you to play further away when you're playing Pharah into double or triple hitscan like that. Because if you play within the range, then that happens. And yeah, you can usually survive if you play it somewhat with cover in that kind of scenario. Like, even if they have double sniper, or double hitscan, sorry. If you're playing with cover, with high ground, with walls and whatnot, you can still survive. if you have a Mercy, because then you get healed, right? Neither of them is able to actually one-shot you, so you can get shot, hide, drop, get aggressive, and etc. But without a Mercy, you are just not gonna survive those. Kenta, you're playing pretty well and you're getting a ton of value. It's just the matter of how much value can you really get with your playstyle when you are playing with so many disadvantages. Again, that's the biggest thing. You're playing into a lot of disadvantages. No Mercy, no Ana, no Zen, no Shad. Just no healing for you. They got triple hit scan. Like, keep in mind, again, if you had a Mercy, Ana would not be that much trouble, but when they have double hit scan and Ana, who can basically snap you at any distance, and you're just a target float in the middle, and if you get shot once by Ana, you get headshot and die. And it's basically as simple as that. That's really one of the biggest reasons why having a Mercy is really good. It prevents you from losing to anything that's not a one-tap. Like a Widow or if you get discorded and shot by a boosted Ash or whatever like that. Or a nano boosted McCree. Get the Mega. Get the Mega! Just get it. The fire goes away when you get a health pack. Just get it right away. Oh, click button. You go for a flank. I like this. Your target predation is actually pretty good too. Another reason you got lucky landing on the right side. Another reason why Ana is really good. You are just a small flying target, easy to hit with the sleep darts. You just die. Your team fight is lost anyway. And I feel like you're playing Pharah like Pharah, which I said earlier already. You should kind of be playing Pharah like Junkrat or Hanzo. Stay far away from the enemy and shoot at them. Because unless you are going really aggressive and using all of your cooldowns, and even then, if you do that and you go really aggressive and use all of your cooldowns, you probably expect to die. But maybe you go aggressive, get all of your cooldowns, kill the Ana, kill the Mercy, and then you trade for 2, and that's good value. It's just really difficult to do without a Mercy, because you just get shot a little bit and you have no way of healing that, right? Like, so your health is at, maybe you get body shot by McCree, right? And you're at 130. And you cannot heal that up, because no matter what you do, you go all the way back to get a health pack. That's a lot of time while you're not doing damage. And the big thing with Pharah is that she's basically a resource drainer, right? If you keep up the damage all the time, you're doing like 80 times 2, 160, plus 40 damage from a direct, 200 with any direct you hit. So that's like 200 damage per second. And you can get more people than that too, and Ana only has like 70 healing per second. So Mercy only has 50 healing per second, and they got no damage reduction either, like no diva that can eat half of your shots. So it's like you just delete their damage, right? By just spamming them and hitting the directs once every 2 shots or something, you can outdo their healing, and that's basically how Pharah works. And if you have a Mercy, it's even more so, because it turns into 120 and 160, I believe, which makes it like 300 damage per second or something like that. I think it's like 280 something, but you get the idea. Pharah is really good at burning resources, and yeah, you can go aggressive and secure kills too sometimes, but just the fact that you're not playing to that side of Pharah, which should be what you do in this type of scenario where you don't have a Mercy and you don't have a they have so many counters, like you have literally no healing and they have so many counters. It's just very telling that you just play this style of Pharah, which is not bad, right? Like the actions you can see here that they just stack different damage on you, and that's actually how they kill you. It's not like they had a ton of damage at once at you. You were just already down like 30 HP, right? When you engage, they shoot you once, so now you're now at 110, and you don't get healed from this. You get shot by Diana, so that's another 70, and then you get tapped by McCree. I think you get tapped by McCree. Or do you get tapped by Ash? You get tapped by Ana again. So you can see how they just stack up damage on you, because it's not that difficult to hit Pharah at close range. She's like big and bigger than like supports at least. And she's also very predictably while she's flying. So the big thing is definitely you are playing Pharah correctly if you had a Mercy or if you didn't have like 3 hits gun. At the very beginning, you could still play this because they were playing like what were they playing, like Genji Junkrat or Genji, what were they playing? Genji Hanzo, right? So you can see how that makes it like a lot easier because Hanzo can still hit you sometimes, but he's not consistently going to hit you like a McCree or an Ashwood, especially at your diamond level, right? Like hits are actually pretty decent, and, with mechanics at least. So yeah, you just die here. Start coming back. This may actually be winnable. Okay, that's unfortunate. You just jump up into a nano boosted electric cowboy Hainyun and we lose the fight. But yeah, overall, like again, the biggest thing is like even these rocket jumps you're doing to get back faster are hurting you a lot, where they would not be if you had a Mercy or like a Senor, right? Because these rocket jumps are like now you're going down, you're going to fight with 80% of your health. If you get tapped by anything, it's gonna be like, let's say you get tapped by Ana or by a McCree body shot, then you are down to 90 HP, which is under half health, right? It's a big deal to not have a Mercy or at least some kind of healing when you're playing Pharah. It has to change your playstyle completely, especially when they go hitscan, right? When they have Genji Hanzo, you're much more free to do whatever you want. Because they, even if you get close, they still have a much harder time hitting you because no hitscan. Unless their hands are cracked. But now they've got like triple hitscan with Diana, it's like a lot more difficult. And don't do it like this. One of the big reasons why Ana is so good, why Pharah is so good is that raining down rockets on people will hit the ground around them as well and do splash damage. Whereas these rockets are not gonna do anything unless you are just insanely good, right? You are just missing and they get no value. Whereas if you try to go up and rain down on them, that gets more value. So don't duel them where you are at a disadvantage. They got a Mercy pocket and you aren't getting no splash damage. Again, taking a health pack removes the burning effect, so you don't have to wait for it to go out. You can just take the health pack immediately and the burning will go away. Always. That's a good kill though. She's one. Just, oh. I'm okay with this barrage, like you did things correctly, but the fact that you are already low, I think you should have chased the Ana. The idea of barrage is okay, like just go behind them. But the fact that you shot Diana gave you away. And then you also... I think you took a little damage too from Diana. I might just be incorrect. Yeah, no, I was just incorrect. But they see you, right? That's my point. Oh, you took a little damage from the Ashe before going in. If you're going for a flank barrage, I said this earlier, just go for the flank barrage, just lead them, right? If you shoot behind them, they will realize, or maybe Diana called it, hey, Pharah's shooting behind us. And then when you go for it, they all know you're here. It's no longer a surprise barrage. You're also a little high, like you should be here. But you get the idea, right? Like you just get shot and deleted. Like if you were lower down, you probably could have killed McCree. He actually goes very low. But the Diva tried, she tried so hard. But just giving yourself out like that when you're going for a flank barrage is not a good idea. Do you go Tracer to touch? You should probably go Tracer to come back. You should definitely go Tracer to come back. Okay. So overall, how do I feel about your Pharah play? Your gameplay is good, like you're not making big mistakes with Pharah. It's just that you need to change your playstyle if you're gonna play Pharah into so many counters without a Mercy. Right? Like, make sure that if you have no healing, but if you have a Mercy, even if, like, hold on, let me rephrase. Even if you don't have a Mercy, if you have like a Sen, if you have an Ana who can heal you every now and then from distance, that's okay. But when you're playing with like Moira Lucio, you need to come back literally to your team to get healed. It's just not very good. So you just play very, very, very far back. I think you had Brick Lucio at 1.2. Brick can send you a health pack for 70 HP during the entire fight, and that's as much you can get with that comp. And even then, Brick is much more likely with Brick Lucio to be using her health pack on her tanks because they're gonna need it. Now you have an Ana though, which is good. Like just having the Ana will make you a lot more. It will enable you a lot more because whereas you had to come back to your team to get healed before or go for a health pack, now you can get to cover and then I can heal you from distance and then you can go back in, right? So it's not, of course, like having a permanent heal on you, but it still enables you a little more because if you take a safe position wherever you want to, like here or maybe like over here, and I can heal you at that distance, whereas Brigitte and Lucio have a much harder time doing so. Good rockets at the door. Okay, now you can start going aggressive. Now they've got a Pharah and they have their own Mercy, right? And this is a problem. So they have no hit scan, they have a Diva and an Ana. You want to avoid this. You just don't take this tool. Like, you are never gonna win by yourself against Pharmacy. You might win by yourself against Pharmacy, right? I'm saying never, as in, it's like an 80% chance they win just because they have more resources. But you can ignore the Pharah, play up in the air and keep moving so it's difficult for her to land a shot on you, and focus on her team, because you can shoot down on her team and get a lot of value that way, rather than dueling the Pharmacy. Good shot! But it's just very difficult, because, like I said, if you get a direct on the... Like, hold on, let's do damage. If you get a direct on the Pharah, that's 120 damage, right? But in the 1 second it takes for you to get another one, she's gonna get healed by 50 HP, so she's gonna be at 170. And you hit another direct, which 120 damage, and she's down to 50, right? And then she gets healed for 50 again, so she's at 100. So you need to hit 3 directs in a row for you to actually win that fight. If you don't hit 3 directs in a row on the Pharah, you are not gonna kill her. Or I think it's like 2 directs on the Mercy in a row, because there's a thing it doesn't kick in. So you need to hit either 2 directs on the Mercy and then 2 directs on the Pharah, or just 3 directs on the Pharah to win that duel and stop the rest. It's just not a good duel for you to take on your own. Whereas they need to hit literally 1 direct for 160 and like 1 splash damage for like 100, and they just beat you. Also don't land, because then they can do splash damage on you. Fire can, I believe, let me double check that. 80, yeah, it's 104. She can double tap people, like Pharmacy can double tap people with just splash damage. That's how good it is. So you really need to make sure you're not alone, because if they splash you, then you're just an easy target to kill. Go for the flank, which I like. Again, you need to avoid their Pharmacy, basically. Unlucky, you missed the first, and then you just get killed. You just got to choose splash rockets rather than 1 direct Nova splash, which is unfortunate. Yeah, again, you're just playing with a lot of disadvantages. At least they have no hit scan anymore, though, so you can, again, play much more safe and just keep spamming their team. Yeah, they have more spam damage, in the sense that they will do more damage to your team than you can do to their team, but they got 2 players on that, whereas you can do it by yourself. So, there's a trade-off there. Pharmacy is definitely better, if you got a good Pharah at least. Okay, you try to prevent the rest. Actually, a really good shadow from your Rhine. But you can see how the Pharah just gets healed up to in 1.5 seconds. She just gets healed up to full after the shatter. So stop doing the Pharah, stop doing the Pharah. That's not your duel. Your duel is on the people on the ground. Like, go for the people on the ground. Okay, that's good. You go behind them and do damage. That's very unfortunate, but you go behind them and do damage while they grabbed, which is good. You almost have Rush even. Remember that Rocket Jump is only really, I don't want to say only worth it, but usually best when you've got Mercy, because now you're just down 40 HP until you get healed. A good shot by Urana though, actually saved your life. But don't expect Urana to be both paying attention and hitting those shots every time, all the time. At least not until you're like Masters. Masters like Mid-Masters and low GM. Okay. Urana is definitely trying though. Urana is trying hard to keep you alive. Hide from the bomb. Oh, You did not hide from the bomb. The best way of hiding from the bomb is just dropping and going inside. Like, you try to go that way, I get it, but just drop. The best way to hide from the bomb is just dropping, because especially at your rank, Divas will just throw it up in the air. Like, it will explode around here somewhere and get like all of this. So the best way to dodge it is either get behind this, or get over there, or get behind here, right? You actually go up when they bomb, which is unfortunate. But yeah, just drop. Just drop. It's a really good bomb, but you should just drop and hide here. You can see that it will not get you, or go inside if it lands like around there. But unfortunate, they just win with a good bomb. Don't go for the Pharah. Your mechanics are good, but again, you need to hit 3 rockets in a row to kill a pocketed Pharah. It's not a duel you can win very easily, unless you're like quite little cracked. This one you can win, like she's got no mercy pocket. Now it's gonna be hard again. Okay, you get bubbled. You can probably go for a barrage. Good jump away from the Genji. Good dodge from the Genji. That's actually really good. I would barrage the fuck out of that Mercy. This is a free kill and a free fight win. I would just barrage the fuck out of that Mercy. I don't think anyone except their Pharah is in position to try to kill you. And you're close enough to your team that you're gonna get healed. So they are not gonna kill you. I would just go for this barrage and the Mercy rather than the direct. Yup. Worth it, absolutely. Yeah. You try to look for the Pharah, you even hit a little bit of the barrage in the Pharah. And like I said, you're not gonna die because you are in a good position. Oh, that's unlucky though. You hit your head with the ceiling. But yeah, I'm fine with that. Like I said, I would have barraged that. That's worth it. You get stepped on the high ground, which is fine. You were really want to fight anyway. Yeah, good barrage. Really good barrage. Good dodge from the get. I've been saying this, but your mechanics are pretty good and you understand how to play Pharah. It's just a matter of how much can you get away with when you don't have a healing, or in this case, not a mercy either, and they're playing Pharmacy, right? Also, they have an Ashe now, so be careful. Your Ana is definitely keeping track of you, though. That's really good. Like I said, having an Ana does allow you to play a little more like Pharah usually plays. Whereas you can drop to get healed instead of just having to come all the way back to your team. So you're gonna get a lot more value just by having an Ana. Your Ana is definitely trying. Like, you should still not go for rocket jumps, because Ana, unless it's very early in the fight, Ana's probably gonna be busy healing someone else. At this point, the fight is lost. You're hiding behind, and I know you're hiding behind, so you should at the very least go get the mini that's right there. You can't engage with this little health. Okay, you go to... And this is what I wanted you to do on the attack, right? Just play very far away when it's hard for them to kill you. Try to, you know, get value at very long range. This is fine. Shoot the ground people. Careful about the bomb. You're dead. You are just dead. You survived? That's really good. I thought you were dead for sure, I'll be honest. Good job dodging the bomb. It's a fight anyway, you lost 2 people to that bomb. Yeah, and then D.Va chases you. Now they still have 3 people who can annoy you. 3 people who can annoy you. Like, I'm not even taking their farmers into account. Worse. I'm not even taking their farmers into account. Their pharmacy should not be coming after you. Their pharmacy should be like, okay, well, they have a Pharah, but we have a pharmacy, so we can just get all of the resources out of their team and win the fight that way. And if you go for their Pharah, then again, you need to hit 3 direct hits on the Pharah to kill her. This is satisfied, by the way. Even though we almost got it, I think it's satisfied because no one can notice the point. Yep. You tried. I'll give you that you tried, but it was just a lost fight. So that's far. Again, it comes down to your playstyle, right? You're playing Pharah as if you had a Mercy, or as if you had a lot of healing. I would keep in mind that Sense Orb is better for Pharah than the Ana healing. Of course, Ana can do more healing with one shot, but Sense Orb just stays on you and gives you healing always, right? So you can stay up in the air and get healed all the time, rather than taking it away from your team to get healed by the Ana. Also, of course, Ana has to hit her shots, which is also a part of it. This would be a good flank barrage. Yep. Stop shooting before barraging. You are giving yourself away. I saw the idea. I'm gonna go for the flank barrage. It looks like you even communicated it because Ana nanoed you. But instead, you just shot at the Ana and the Ana slept you. Just go for the barrage. Like, yeah, you get one shot before barrage. But just go for the barrage immediately. Of course, not anymore, right? You just go aggressive and kill the Ana while she's by herself. That's a very difficult kill, I'll give you that. That's classy. You won that fight, that's classy. That's very classy, yes, that's really good. Kill the Ashe, nice. Okay, your mechanics are pretty good. I think we already covered that at some point. And when you get resources from your team, you are doing good. It's just that it's a lot harder for your team to give you resources when you're playing Ana Moria, and you need to take that into account. Or Lucio Brick, like at the beginning, or whatever we like. I think we're playing Lucio Moria at the end. It's a lot harder for your team to give you those resources you need to pop off. Pharah is a carry DPS in the sense that you need to put resources into Pharah. McCree is not a carry DPS, even though yes, you can carry fights with McCree, blah blah blah. The playstyle of McCree is not, we are gonna give McCree all of our resources and he's gonna win, right? McCree's just like, okay, I'm here, I shoot things, I get value, if someone goes slow, I can kill them, I can just help destroy the shields, I can stun people when they get close, etc, etc. McCree doesn't need that many resources. Yeah, he's gonna take some healing, of course, but like, Pharah is the type of hero that literally gets pocketed. That's how many resources she takes. You just go, okay, well, I'm going to invest single whole person's resources. Like, Nightmares is basically only gonna pocket Pharah, and Pharah's gonna win the game, like, with that, because that's what carry DPS do, like. If you have an Ashe and you pocket her with a Mercy, Ashe is also a carry DPS. You can play Ashe in a non-carry DPS way, where you don't put as many resources and just shoot it like a longer range McCree. But usually, like, when you have any character that gets really good value by being pocketed on Mercy, usually requires resources. Not all of them, like Hanzo doesn't require resources, of course. Ashe can get away with not requiring resources. Jangwad, of course, doesn't really require that many resources either. But like, usually characters that need a Mercy to play with, or that are usually play with a Mercy, are better with resources, and that's what makes them so good. You get Solo Barrage, well, you don't get Solo Barrage, but you get Barrage. And we lose this here. You should definitely have Contracer to touch. Okay, and we lose. So, unfortunate loss, but remember, basically this comes down to you need to change your playstyle. If you're gonna play Pharah into a lot of counters, like these are your counters, this is a counter. On the first round, you had McCree, Ana, and Ashe. So, if you're gonna play Pharah into a lot of counters, you need to change your playstyle. And if you don't have healing, you also need to change your playstyle. If you don't have a Mercy, you can't Rocky Champ as much. You can't go for aggressive plays as much because they can just stab you and the damage stays with you until you go away or die. So it's a lot harder to play Ana without to play Pharah without resources. You did better when you have an Ana, but even then, it's still like you're playing the same playstyle. Your team is just enabling you a little bit more. So yeah, it's not that you got value by doing something different. You got value because your team tried to flex a little bit more around you and just went Ana to heal you, and that Ana was healing you a lot. Okay. So yeah, when this type of things happens, when you're just like, okay, I'm playing. Let's go back to the first one because I feel like that's an even better example. When you're playing into double hit scan with Diana, and you have no healing, quite literally, basically no healing, you can't play Pharah the same, right? Like, if you play Pharah like you normally would, you're just gonna get tapped, then shot, then tapped, and you're dead, and you can't heal any of that. And you need to play around the health packs and whatnot to even have a chance to go aggressive. It's a lot worse. So what you do is you still play kind of like Hanzo. Actually, you play kind of like Echo. You do long range stuff, you do damage, you burn the enemy team's resources, and when you see someone that's low, you can go aggressive, and you know you're probably not gonna get away if you go aggressive, but if you can kill one or two people, then it's maybe worth it. Or you can just stay and use your good mechanics and your good aim to just pepper them from damage at long range, from like a very long range. Yeah, that's basically the whole thing. You need to adapt your playstyle to what your team and the enemy team is doing. You don't play far the same into double sniper or double hit scan with McCree, Ash, Ana, or without a mercy as you would into like Genji, Hanzo like they had at the beginning. Because against Genji Hanzo you can just go aggressive and it's a lot harder for them to kill you. But into this, it's a lot easier for them to kill you. They just need to tap you a couple times. Okay, I'll take a 3-minute break, chat, and then we'll move on to Nuclear Mako. So I'll be right back.